Good morning, everyone. This week's reading learning intention is to discuss techniques used by authors and illustrators to hold the reader's attention. This next page of our text shows a close-up image of Beth and Molly. It's an interesting choice. For a close-up, we get to really see what they're thinking and feeling. So look carefully at their faces. What's going through their minds? What might they be thinking? What might they be feeling? Do you think the fact that this image is black and white tells us anything about what might be happening here? Can you predict what the text might be about that matches this image? Take a moment to think. In that image, the blandness of the black and the white, the sadness on their faces, despite the fact that now they're sleeping in a tent rather than sleeping outside. It's now many weeks since we planted the vegetables, but nothing has grown. Our rations have now been made even smaller to make the food last through the winter. The good news is that we now sleep in one of the women's tents, so we're at least dry at night. For me, the text feels like Beth is starting to lose hope in the establishment of the new colony. There's a sense of desperation in her words and in the previous picture when she says here that nothing has grown. Our rations are now even smaller. Just tells me that she's starting to feel a little desperate. I see the misery reflect. Molly talked about her ma last night. She was beautiful, Molly told me. She brushed my hair every night and told me that one day we wouldn't be poor anymore. Tears welled up as Molly told me. The very last thing Ma said to me was, "Please don't forget me, my little angel." I hugged Molly tight and said, "I promise I will remember her too, just as if she was my Ma." We read here a little about Molly's Ma. We hear the sadness at her mum's hope that one day their lives would be different. The line, "Please don't forget me, my angel." This line draws us into Molly's ma and her love for Molly, and it also makes us feel sad and sorry for Molly and what she has lost at such a very young age. If we look at the image that goes with this part of the text, it also has framing and the use of colour versus black and white in the images presented. This time, however, the black and white image, though smaller, it still sits, if we have a look here, it sits on top of the larger, more colourful image of happier times. And that bigger image, it sits in the background despite taking up the whole page. I want you to take a moment to look carefully at both the images in the frames, the black and white image at the top and the larger image in colour in the frame in the background. What do you see? What do you think about? How do they make you feel? And what do you think the purpose of them is? Today's task is to design a new book cover for this text. Think about images you might include and some of the visual literacy techniques we've discussed. Be sure to take think time and to think carefully about how you'll summarise the text and entice your reader to read this book. Have a great day of learning, everyone.